black. And it's just not the dark color of their tongue, it's just to be an adaptation to act as a sunscreen essentially, because their tongues are exposed to quite a lot of the day while they're eating all those tasty yummy leaves up above. The way they're going to eat those leaves in the trees is with their prehensile tongue. Prehensile just means to grasp, so it wraps around and grasps onto things a lot like our hands and fingers can. Our hands are also prehensile. And while those giraffes are always eating those tasty leaves up above them on the hillside are some of those Cape buffalo, this dark brown, almost black colored cattle with their short, upright, curving horns. And while the giraffe tongue color is going to be a sunscreen for them, the dark color of this Cape buffalo here is serving a little bit different of a purpose, which is actually going to be the opposite of camouflage, which is a bit interesting as typically most prey animals on the savanna are going to want to hide with camouflage to evade predators. But not these guys, are doing it a little bit different. You don't want to mess with a Cape buffalo because one will probably mess with you back and win. They're going to use that size to their advantage, and they know how to use it. They gather up all close together into one big tight group to charge as this one unit, basically as a way to say like, hey, watch out, we are much bigger than you, and we'll probably win. So don't mess with us. And we indeed don't want to mess with them, so we're going to keep on going down the savannas here and see what we can find up ahead. Doesn't look like we've got too much going on this end of the habitat. We're actually going to head up the hill now, out of the savannas for a bit to our forested section called Central Africa. And I cannot stop as we move on up the hill, so just have your eyeballs peeled and the cameras at the ready for anything you might see along the way. Might be able to see a few ruddy zebra across the hillside from us. Ruddy zebra with those crazy stripes are going to be the largest zebra species. Their stripes are the thinnest of all zebras. If you've ever wondered if they are black with white stripes or white with black stripes, I like to say they're indeed black with white stripes because even under their white hair, the skin is still going to be a dark gray color throughout. Kind of like the Cape buffalo, the stripes of the zebras definitely stick out like sore thumbs on the savanna in their environment. What's the deal with these stripes? Why do they have them? Well, maybe they just don't want to be spotted. Or maybe they're there for confusion. We don't know the real reason for zebra stripes, but some zoologists say confusion is a good theory. Also a way to blend in with one another in the group. Camouflage amongst all your friends. Confusion though, when they do start running around as that predator approaches. Crazy stripes are hard to focus in on for that lion perhaps, and maybe that is why a group of zebras is called a dazzle. Trying to dazzle and confuse that predator so they can get away. Climbing a bit higher up to the top of the hill onto the bridge, we got Candy, an eastern black rhino, looking a little bit darker than he normally does. It's because all that darker color you see on him is actually mud. Rhinos love to wallow in the mud, especially on really hot days like this. It's going to help cool them down, as well as it starts to dry, it acts like a sunscreen for them to prevent sunburn, as they are somewhat prone to that. Rhinos don't have a ton of hair on them. It's kind of like the back of our hand. And wallowing in the mud out in the wild is going to help keep natural waterways open for other wildlife, having rhinos playing a vital role in their ecosystems, even if it seems like such a small way. Incredibly endangered these black rhinos are, though, much more than southern white rhinos. But Kendi here has a very important role for his species here at the safari park. He is one half of the dynamic duo that lives here in the habitat. The other one is named Aria. She's probably doing a little bit of hide and seek on us right now. But Aria and Kendi, like I said, are playing that important role and have joined us recently at the park. from 2 separate zoos to meet here as part of what's called the Species Survival Plan, or SSP. This is the plan to ensure we maintain genetic diversity within species populations, especially those that are considered endangered and critically endangered in the wild. Make sure that those populations will be biologically sound for generations to come. The best way to describe the SSP is that it is kind of like a dating service for these guys. We do all the swiping left and right for them to find those really great genetic matches, and in Aria and Candy's case here to, of course, have some eastern black rhino calves in the near future. So keeping our fingers crossed for this new young couple. Black rhino gestation, it is about 15 to 16 months. And over the years here at the park, 13 black rhinos have been born here. One of those 13 we were actually able to send to a protected reserve in Tanzania to do that same thing out there and spread that genetic diversity around. But on all of that, I'll stop talking here for a minute or so. I know that was a lot of information to throw at you. To let you all enjoy and take in the views of the savannas around us.
Who's in escape one? Jaywalker.
No, I said I was going to stop talking here, but I have an opportunity to point something out really cool here on the right-hand side. If you're sitting backwards, kind of look over your left shoulder a bit. We got a mule deer. This is a native deer to the area, so don't worry, this guy didn't escape. Just a break in here to eat some of our plants. So we get a lot of local wildlife here, calling the safari park home, as well as to all the savanna animals we see here today, because we do have those 900 or so acres dedicated to protecting the coastal sage scrub surrounding us here at the park. The coastal sage scrub is what you see on the hillsides. It kind of looks a little crispy, not quite getting the credit that it does deserve. As being here in San Diego County, we're actually in the most biodiverse county in the continent of the U.S. So this crispy stuff on the hillsides is very important. Biodiversity is so important. It's because that is what makes here on Life Earth possible for you and me. Biodiversity all the way up could be so incredibly important, and we help protect it, like the coastal sage scrub around us here at the safari park. We're in this biodiversity hotspot. Hotspots are found all over the world, not just here. And there's a lot of biodiversity going on within these given areas. Plant life that is found here and nowhere else. If it all goes away, it's essentially irreplaceable. And if the native habitat or habitat around you all goes away, as could everything else. There is thought to be only about 15% in fact remaining of coastal sage scrub from what was originally here. And like I said, that all goes away, as could other things as well. Things that are going to be vital in maintaining a balanced ecosystem for others, like vultures and condors, which we consider to be the cleanup crew or the sanitation workers, as their job is to clear out all the dead and yucky things from bacteria or disease that's left over so it doesn't harm other wildlife. And in theory, let's say if this incredibly important cleanup crew all went away, as did everything else, which almost did happen to the California condors. In fact, for example, back in the 1980s, a mere 22 California condors remained in the region in the southwest here on the brink of extinction. So the safari park decided to do something about that because, well, if you're helping out the cleanup crew, you help out everyone else as well. And the safari park did just that for California condors. With government permission, they were able to bring in the remaining ones from the wild to a breeding program here at the park that is still going on to this day, and to a lot of success, I might add. And they have been able to raise their numbers just from those 30-some years ago to over 500 today. Many of these California condors, they have been able to release back into the wild. And you can see some of those California condors here at the safari park, what's called Condor Ridge. Head on up there if you have the chance. There are beautiful views of the valley and those magnificent condors as well that are massive also.